Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at Cult of the Lamb, a game that just recently came out a couple days ago, and I've been seeing a lot of things about it on TikTok, and to be very blunt, I see why. This game feels like a nostalgic trip down memory lane for me. Cult of the Lamb was made by Massive Monster Studios, and looking into it, from what I understand, it's made by mainly 3 people, which is just baffling to me for what the quality of the game is. One other interesting thing I do want to point out about the studio is it's only worked on 3 main other games, this being the 4th in their series. I think the best way to look at the game is it feels like a combination of other games that I've loved and played a lot of. It feels like The Binding of Isaac with the level layout, it feels like Enter the Gungeon with the level layout, but it feels like Stardew Valley, and, well, it has a dark, sinister undertone of Happy Tree Friends in there, if you know what that is. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the big segments of the game that I feel are the most important and crucial. The biggest part to take a look at first is the story. And, well, the story I don't even know very much myself. However, from my understanding, you play, well, as a lamb who is about to be sacrificed, but before dying is brought back by a god. And this god wants you to make a cult of followers that worship him. And through, well, either good or bad choices. But there's 4 gods that lock this god away, and he wants to be freed, which is your objective of the game. You must also grow your cult so that way you get more powerful, so it makes it easier to get to your god. Now this may sound simple, and honestly, it is. A simple story is honestly the best way to go for games like this, and, well, it works for it. We don't get any form of background knowledge of why we were being sacrificed, or who our main character is, but it just throws you in. And honestly, we don't have games like this anymore, really. Today, a lot of games are going through background knowledge where you need to have played the previous game or read a book or watched a movie to know what's going on. But this game starts us anew. I've probably gone about through a third of the story's gameplay, so I don't know much more after that. However, I will be looking into that in the next couple of days, as I know life this game. Now, gameplay. Gameplay is always usually considered as the best thing. A game could have terrible graphics, but if it has terrible gameplay, it is irrecoverable. So, there's 2 forms of gameplay. You have your village building area, and then you have your battle phase. These 2 aspects of the game intertwine beautifully, where having to go out in the wilderness and go into the combat with the Binding of Isaac style combat, to, well, find resources for your village and even find more villagers or cult members. Or sacrifices, too. Just keep that in mind. The combat's difficulty is quite beautiful with the developer's recommended difficulty. And, honestly, it works really well. There was never a moment where I thought the game was too easy or too hard. And, well, it feels like it's not reliant on certain items like the Binding of Isaac does. One very neat aspect is you can choose which route you go for certain resources. Now, when gaining these cult members, you do have to maintain them through a hunger, sanitary, and, well, their actual faith in you. And so it's kind of a happiness meter. You have to give them places to sleep, so that way they can worship you longer before, in the end, you end up sacrificing them. Cult members come with traits that can either make them better or worse at certain things, but for overall, it doesn't matter really. In this chapel you make, this is where you do your sermons, and then also can do doctrines, which are like what your cult believes in, whether they believe that the old should die or the old should be cherished and loved. This is just one example of the over 20 doctrines that you can make, and these heavily affect things. Not only in this chapel you can do those 2, however, you can also upgrade your combat ability through, well, worship and faith. These can start with including higher level weapons or more hearts or even higher level your ranged ability. Can also include unique variants of weapons like, for example, the vampiric weapons, which can give you a chance of healing, or the ghost necromancy weapons, which, well, can summon ghosts after killing an enemy. And these crusades are very much so dungeon level based. You have tarot cards that can help you with more overall abilities, finding weapon merchants, and, well, simply finding more followers. The combat is simple, but elegant, making it so you can have a fun time and not have to worry too much. Now, graphics in games usually don't mean very much to me, as it's more the gameplay that is important, but the graphics in this game are incredible. The graphics are very relatable to the game Don't Starve, and, well, it works for it. The simple 2D style of everything and having everything be somewhat almost paper mache is incredible. The colors are perfect for the surroundings, amplifying which areas are cult-like, and especially with the ambience. Again, I do want to say, graphics aren't the thing that makes a game. However, this game does it in such a good way that, to me, it's a 10 out of 10 graphic-wise. Now, my favorite part, and I've been jamming out to it, is the music. The music is a mixture of simple melodies, but with a bit of a trap remix behind them, usually using very low basses, and a little bit of a cappella if you listen for it in the background. Now, all this music in this game was made by one person known as Riverboy on Spotify. I recommend going and checking out their other stuff, it's great. Now, all the songs are amazing, however the best ones are the boss fight ones in the main village area. Now, the craziest part about this game is its price tag, and it's great in an amazing way. The game for the normal edition is about $25, and for the deluxe edition is $30. A game that was released and is not $60 at release? What? This was a part that genuinely shocked me, and it was kind of cool to see, as it's been a while since I've seen anything like it. And from playing the game for probably about 11 hours in total, to be very blunt, I think it's still a $60 game. But the point that these developers went through the effort and made it $30 at max is pretty crazy to me. I seriously don't think there is no reason you should go and pick up this game right now. And I have a feeling this game is going to receive enough popularity that it's most likely going to continue receiving future updates. Something I would like to see is, I would like to, run a cult with my buddies. As one of my buddies probably goes around killing everybody because of his own philosophy. In conclusion, this game feels like a game to a younger me, and still can appease today's audience. This video game feels like it has the essence of what gaming used to be, and again, you need to try it out right now. If you guys have played the game, what do you guys think of it? And, well, are you hoping it continues?